I'm Gabby Lamb.
And I'm Harper-Rose Drummond.
And you're listening to Tea Time, where we talk about the nastiest, dirtiest,
naughtiest, wildest secrets.
Enjoy.
Hey guys.
Subscribe to our Patreon. We have a Patreon. It's like $5 a month where you just get extra yummy, talky stories. And it's a little bit more loose.
It's very loose. It's really fun. We play Truth or Dare on it. We do prank calls.
We do prank phone calls.
We read extra stories.
And it's worth it. It's honestly, it's $5 a month. And if you can't afford that, well then
get your ex's credit card and go off.
It's $1.25 an episode. We put out an extra episode every week, and it's cute, it's fun, it's funny. I interact with you guys on the Patreon Messenger. You guys can send in your stories. We look for stories. We look for Truth or Dare. We look for Fuck, Marry, Kills. We've got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to go into this week, and those episodes are out every Wednesday.
And we give unfiltered gossip on Patreon.
We sure do.
Patreon.com/teatime42069.
Hey guys, welcome to another beautiful episode of Tea Time. I am your host, Candace Owens, and I'm joined with Alex Jones.
Alex Jones on the mic today. We decided to switch it up and get some new people in here. So actually, Candace and I are taking over the podcast. We hope you guys like where it goes from here.
Harper-Rose and Gabby couldn't be here today, so we thought we'd step in.
They killed themselves, so we decided to step in.
They did kill themselves. No note,
and they didn't even plan the suicide. They just randomly both killed themselves.
Sometimes they take bits a little too far, and so we decided we would just kind of step on in here today. And our first topic is going to be women's rights.
Don't need them. Candace, do you agree?
Oh, do I ever?
God, good for you. God-loving, God-fearing country.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, here's the gag. Gabby and I are both numb today.
I'm on my second fucking cup of coffee. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm on my period. I had a boxing class at 7 a.m. Shut the fuck up, everyone. I'm getting strong and ripped. So if you even try to fight me or attack me, if you're a man on the street that tries to rape me, guess what? I know how to fucking box now.
She'll fucking kick you in the teeth. And also, here's the thing, because comedians are getting slapped now. Well, they've always been getting slapped, but now they're getting slapped on TV, so...
You know how to fucking box?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Honey.
Yeah?
You're talking to the queen of the Jack in the Box slap in the box, if you will? Yeah. Are you the only girl in the class?
Fuck no.
Okay.
There's other girls in the class.
Love that.
Anyway.
Okay, so Gabby's starting to do boxing. I signed up for ClassPass because my therapist said I need to start doing things to get out of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So I've been going to a bunch of different workout things.
And that's honestly good for you. I can do that alone. The only reason I'm doing it is because my boyfriend forced me into doing it. So,
honey, I am honestly jealous of that. At first, it was so fucking anxiety inducing going to like do classes where like you look at I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in half of these things.
Yeah, that's why I hate it. So today's topic, we're not going to spend too much time on ourselves today because we have a lot of stories and they're really fucking good.
Yeah, y'all popped your fucking pussies and bussies off.
I love talking about insecurities because I know everybody in the fucking entire world has them, except for apparently Candace Owens. But other than Candace, everybody else is insecure.
Yeah.
And I think talking about them, like we said last week, lifts some of their weight.
Here's the thing. It's like, insecurities are so interesting because we all have them, but all of us try and act like we don't.
And then on the outside, when people tell you what they're insecure about, you like the other person is like, you don't have to be insecure about that. But we are, we tear ourselves apart with our own insecurities. Today, I almost started crying in my boxing class because I'm so fucking bad at it, dude. Today was my second class. I'm a very slow learner. It's very embarrassing for me when people demonstrate or even give me directions on how to do anything. I freeze up. I can't do it. I want to cry. And today it was just like, I could tell the teacher was getting frustrated because I like wasn't getting the form right. And I just was like, what the fuck? I get all confused in my head and I wanted to cry. I wanted to like walk out of class and cry.
It's so stressful.
It's so stressful. And it like core memories of just like being a bad student because I couldn't keep up with the lessons because I wasn't good at math. I was just
gonna say, doesn't that also, trickles down to school and whatnot. That's also why I was bad at school because I was a terrible student because I probably needed
special ed classes and I didn't get them. And I was thinking about how my mom always used to threaten me when I was little with special ed classes. She'd say things like, if you keep acting up, we're going to put you in the special ed classes.
Dude, I fucking wish I was. I needed that for math.
Me too. I'd be a lot fucking better off. I can't do math for shit. One of my biggest insecurities.
Wait, and you what?
I can't do math, and that's I think maybe my biggest insecurity.
Oh my god. Okay, well okay.
No,
so,
like I can't do math,
honey. 1 + 1. What is it? Okay, but when I was a senior in fucking high school, I got put in this thing called, because I kept failing all my math classes. I got put in this class called discrete math, and there was a lot of coloring involved, but it made me feel so fucking embarrassed. And then when I found when some of my friends found out that I was in a class called discrete math, I felt so fucking humiliated. And they were like, so what? Like, you can't even just do like algebra? You can't do that? And I'm like, honey, I really fucking can't.
I can't do algebra. I can't divide. I don't know how to multiply. And when I tested into, when I started going to community college, they had to test, they have to like test you to see what classes you can test into. Mm-hmm. And I tested into second grade math.
Yes.
So I do have the math level, the literal math level of a second grader.
Yes.
And that's what's going on in this little bing bong head. One of my biggest insecurities.
And it honestly makes you perfect. But okay, did you ever, when you were testing, or wait, did you ever have to take like Adderall or anything in high school?
Yes, I've told you this a million times, Honker.
I know, but I couldn't remember if you were like prescribed to it or if you were just like taking it.
Yeah, I was prescribed Adderall when I was 16.
Okay, you were? Okay. I was prescribed Vyvanse around the same age, and they tested me for like, I had to, do all those fucking tests. And I actually had a, I forget what it's called, but basically it's like number dyslexia. I wonder if you have it too. So like when I look at numbers, they get all like jumbled around. Like even when I roll a fucking dice, people think that I'm doing a bit. I was dating this guy one time and he got so fucking annoyed with me. He's like, just fuck it, you can see the numbers. Yep. And I'm like, dude, I'm not playing dumb. I really have to. It takes me an extra minute to physically count the numbers on the dice.
It's so embarrassing.
Like I can't just like see 6 and know that it's 6.
I can't either. It's
okay. You probably have what I have then.
It's so humiliating. It's so fucking embarrassing. And then people get fed up with you really quickly. I remember all of my teachers
and
my
they
parents,
think that you're faking it.
Yeah, they were just like, why aren't you learning? And I'm like, I have a learning disability.
It's literally a learning. Okay, I need to fucking remember what it's called. But yeah, it is a learning disability. Also, they should be testing kids for that. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to get tested for that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with now the way that the education system is changing, maybe that's happening. Mm-hmm. I fell through the cracks and it was not a fun experience. School was not fun for me. I was very insecure. I did like writing and reading, and I did like history. I'm not good at dates, not good at remembering things. More insecurities. Was always really insecure about my big nostrils when I was little. My brothers called me potato nose. Yes. And what other things? My tits, of course. Obviously, I have no tits. And when you're a teenager, that is the most important asset a woman can have. And I had a deep voice. Everybody always made fun of my deep voice. Bad skin too. Hate it.
But see, here's the thing. Your voice is so fucking cool. And also, whenever these clips come out, I'm always fucking disgusted with the way that my voice, I feel like, sounds like so nasally. And I love how like your voice is so like deep and dropped in.
It's so funny that, see, it's like from the outside, we hear all these things about, because your voice is not nasally, Honker.
Well, Honk, that's on the power of perspective. Let's see. When I was first getting tits in high school, my left tit came in strong and the right one had to do some catch up.
Did you ever get
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to, someone's paying for this fucking tit job because I'm fucked up right now.
Were you happy when you got tits? What did it feel like when you got tits? Were you like, fuck, this is cool?
Yes. I felt so excited because again, that's like what every teenage girl's like, come on.
Yeah. Give me the tits.
Like you just like want, because you, like, at least for me, I like wanted male validate. I wanted like the validation of my male peers. I was like, I'm not getting it from my family, so let me go to the boys at school. And so I was so fucking excited. But then I started getting stressed out because I wasn't used to, I was always so shy and like no one ever really noticed me. And so then when I got tits, I feel like I started getting all this newfound attention and then I like got stressed out by it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird thing to go from like being like a little flat-chested girl into having big fat fucking tits, and all of a sudden you're like, wait.
And I didn't really know what to do. Like some days I was like wearing like a deep fucking V shirt, like tits out. I'm like, haha, they're here.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
other days I'm like wearing like a big ass jacket, like, oh no.
And that's such a crazy thing. I have zero tit, and it's wild for like I look at women with tits and I'm like, what is that like? What is it like to just have naturally inherited tits?
But here's the thing, you have an ass.
But I just
you have like a very small frame. I feel like you're like proportionate for your sweet little size.
Yeah, it's just a wild thing to not have any tits and to be like, wow, women have tits. I have none.
How do you feel now though?
I'm fine with it now. There are times where I'm pretty insecure about it.
Really? Still?
Mm-hmm, still. But I just, what are you going to fucking do? I'm not going to get a tit job. I just don't care enough. Surgery kind of scares me. I'm not going to spend all my money on getting some big fat fake fucking tits. So
yeah. Well,
and no hate to anybody that does. I think it's cool. I wouldn't. We
love fake tits. We love real tits. We love no tits.
We love all the tits.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get the fuck into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all, we got some real good fucking stories.
Yeah, we have a bunch.
Matt Legrand wrote us and said, my biggest insecurity is when I submit something vulnerable to the podcast and it doesn't get read on air. Fuck you, Matt.
Okay, Matt did write us in for grudges because I have this bit where we call our friend Matt and I pretend that Gabby's in the hospital and he falls for it and it's so fucking funny. And then I always just like make up like an excuse of why Gabby's in the hospital. And it's always something like outlandish.
Yeah, it always is.
And he falls for it every single time.
So he wrote in saying that he was really offended by that. Anyway, fuck you, Matt.
Yeah.
I started last week. You want to start today?
I start this week? Yeah, sure.
Here we go, you guys. Insecurities. Thank you for sending in your insecurities. We are ready.
Yum, yum, yum. Hey, honks. I'm going to get right into it. My insecurity is about my sexuality. I'm a bisexual cis man, and I'm always concerned that straight women are going to think less of me because I'm also into guys. Sometimes I scroll Twitter and see some women saying stuff like they wouldn't date a bi dude, and that just adds to my insecurity. Since coming out, I haven't really gotten to a place where I feel comfortable telling any woman I've dated unless they were also queer. I'm trying to become more comfortable with it, but it's a work in progress. Thanks for reading, honks, and also for getting me back into hentai. You're welcome, King. Scroll on, brother.
You're so welcome.
Okay, I honestly love that. I really love that. I'm so sorry that you are insecure about that. But here's the thing, just a little personal thing about me. The best head of my fucking life was from a bi guy.
Bullshit. Really?
Dead ass. Dead ass.
Name names.
No, oh my God, you have to bleep that out, Lee. Okay, but, or maybe you don't. He doesn't listen to this, but yeah.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
When was?
When I was 22.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Bi guy?
Bi guy.
Bi guy.
It was a motorcycle.
He ate you out with a motorcycle?
Yeah, he no, oh my
revved.
I'm just saying fun things about him now. But yeah, no, that was when I was 22 and
really?
I was still a virgin at this point, so I wasn't having sex. Anyways, we're getting too into me, but basically I'm just trying to say bi guys can fucking lay it the fuck down.
It's interesting because I feel like the world is not okay, like with bi men, because with women it's cool to be like sexually fluid, but with men it's like either you're gay or you're not, and that's like a weird societal thing.
But also, I'm just gonna fucking say this, I don't know if y'all know this, but I am fucking bi. We love to see it. But I recently was hanging out with a friend and he's teasing, and he listens to this podcast, so I fucking love you, but also fuck you. But he was teasing me, but there's so much fucking judgment from the straights and the fucking gays about bi people. Bitch, we're real.
Yeah, no, people always are accusing bi people of not being real.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's just, we're just fucking fun. Sorry. But for this dude, I would also say Twitter is a cesspool of negativity.
Get off Twitter. Oh my God.
It is so fucking toxic. Like I have fun on there, but it's so fucking dark. I would never say, this is advice to everyone, and it's fucking good too. So get out your pen and paper, sweetie.
Into the mic.
You what?
Keep belching into the mic.
I love it. Are you jealous that I did a better one than you?
No, because I can really let him loose, and that was a little baby pathetic one.
Okay, well, actually try then. But
you
don't
fucking
ever.
right.
I actually can't hear you because I just got bored. But you for this dude, never look on Twitter for any advice or like trying to like feel good about yourself. Because if you want to feel bad about yourself, get on Twitter and stay on Twitter.
If you want to feel bad about yourself, get on Twitter and also get your 23andMe done, and then you can really feel bad about yourself. But if you don't.
Yeah. No, also, I mean, I think that there is something there though. Like if you're a bi guy, like, maybe try and date like queer women.
I feel like queer women would be way more open.
But also he said something about how, and this is interesting because with our insecurities, we try and like fucking bury it as we, keep going with this episode. I'm sure other ones of ours will come out, but there's certain insecurities that, sometimes I try and suppress, and 10 times out of 10, it's always so much better if you just come out with it.
Next one. Okay. Insecurities formed in my own personal hellscape, elementary school choir. Hello to the wonderful honks and Hentai King Lee. God, he is Hentai Lee, isn't he?
He is.
So when I was
you gotta get that under control.
You do.
I know.
When we walked in here, he was jacking off to it. Put it away.
It's like, we're in the workplace. Come on,
get the fucking
the things we have to deal with.
Yeah, God. So when I was around 10 or 11, the most cunty child I have ever met changed my life for the worst. My elementary school got a new principal around this same time, and she decided to impose mandatory choir class once or twice a week. Very weird. An odd choice considering this wasn't religious school or anything like that. So it was an odd choice and one that was hated by most of the students. Anyways, that's fucking weird. Anyways, I was already an unsettlingly tall child with the build of a slender man, to the point adults would worry and my parents would have to explain that I was fine, just a scrawny motherfucker. So I already had enough issues considering I was surrounded by normal munchkin height during the winter. I was surrounded by normal munchkin height, but during the winter of 2011, some little bitch gave me a new thing to be paranoid about. The winter of 2011. I was standing next to this girl, Kay, in the risers for one of these stupid choir performances. Kay was a cunt, to put it lightly. And I would feel bad describing a child that way, but it's simply the best way to describe her. Hey, sometimes it's okay to call a child a cunt.
And you were a kid too.
A cunt's a cunt.
Yeah.
I've met cunty kids and I'm an adult. Mm-hmm. Normally, this wasn't a bad thing. It was usually focused on the principal because this bitch was a number one hater of mandatory choir. Anyway, I'm standing there already miserable because I'm being forced to sing and I suck at singing, much like about every other kid there, when the principal stopped to give directions to the girl who had a solo, one of the 4 kids in school who could sing. When Kay turns to me, looks me dead in the eye, and tells me that I smell like oatmeal. I haven't eaten oatmeal that day, nor did I use any products that have even an oatmeal adjacent smell. I just naturally smelled like oatmeal, I guess. I had no idea how to respond. I think I questioned it, and she just shrugged and said, "You just smell like oatmeal." And you know what? I have to respect her honesty, though I wish she had kept her mouth shut. The horror I felt in that moment was so poignant that I can still feel it to this day when I think of this story. Let me tell you, being told that you smell like oatmeal is such a bizarre moment because you immediately know it's a bad thing, but like, how bad? Now I'm of the belief that it's a neutral evil scent because like it's not like it's BO or piss, but just kind of off-putting, like an old person, I guess. I spent the rest of the year religiously using Bath and Body Works products in the hopes that I would never smell like oatmeal again. I would have rather smelled like every Bath and Body Works smell had an orgy and shit on me than smell like oatmeal.
Okay.
To this day, over a decade later, I still make sure I wear plenty of perfume every day. This bitch literally still haunts me, telling me that I smell like oatmeal. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'd love to hear where you'd rank oatmeal on the scale of offensive things to smell like.
Okay, it's giving unseasoned. I cannot. Oatmeal. Okay, here's the thing. When I think of oatmeal, I feel like that would smell good. I'm picturing, or like I'm picturing like cinnamon, honey, apples, maybe. You know, cloves. Yeah, I'm like, if someone's like, oh, you smell like oatmeal, that's like, it's cozy, it's warm. It's
for some reason like vanilla and lavender coming to mind.
It smells good. But here's the thing: maybe you need to start seasoning your food, Miss Girl, because what kind of oatmeal are you thinking of?
It's just so funny.
That email was so powerfully insightful.
Also, it's so funny because like you don't even know that you smelled like oatmeal. It's just that this little cunt girl
who
was
not
like,
this little cunt. Also, what if she was trying to flirt?
Yeah, she could probably was. This little stupid, well, maybe she's bi now. Maybe she's gay.
Yeah.
But back then, she was a stupid little fucking loser bitch cunt.
Okay.
Maybe. She was just saying that to pick on you. But now it's giving you this complex. Like, did you ever get anybody else to weigh in on the oatmeal thing?
Yeah, here's the thing. You would have to go and take this to the peanut gallery. You have to go, all right.
Yeah, take it to court.
Smell test.
Yeah. Ask your friends intimately. Be like, you guys smell like oatmeal.
And also, am I smelling like, seasoned oatmeal? Or am I smelling like 7-Eleven oatmeal?
Well, I'm obsessed with her being like, it's bad, but how bad? And also the like smelling like an old person, because old people do have a very distinct musty smell.
I wish we could hear. Yeah, they do.
It's because I have a musty smell. I'm a little musty.
Well,
why am I screaming?
I don't know. You got really loud there. That was kind of intense.
I'm so sorry. I'm losing my hearing.
No, I just think you were trying to drive the point home. I smell.
Do you ever smell me? Do you ever smell my body odorant?
Well, I'm going to be honest, Honky. It's whenever I pick up and hug your cats, especially in the morning after you sweated on them.
I sweat.
I can I'll be like, why do the cats smell like sweat? And it's because my powerful Honky I'm a little heat emitted generator. All of her odors onto the cats.
Dude, when I sleep, I wake up in like wet sheets. I fucking sweat when I sleep. And it does smell not great.
Okay.
Anyway,
insecurity about me. I sweat so much I ruin all of my fucking white shirts. I can't have any white shirts.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for that to happen to this one.
I have like 3 uses, and then
and then
people are like, gray. You can just bleach it. Hey, guess what? I'm too powerful.
Yeah, she'll sweat right through the bleach.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's really funny. I mean, I don't think oatmeal is an offensive thing to smell like, and I would want to get the others to weigh in on your natural scent.
Well, I think the thing that I can't fucking let go is like, what kind of fucked up, like dirty ass type of oatmeal had you been eating in your life?
That you didn't eat any oatmeal that day.
No. I'm not talking about that day, babe. I'm talking about in general, because Miss Girl is thinking that oatmeal is like a slur. And I just want to know, like, damn bitch, like who can't cook well enough to like, are you eating oatmeal raw? Are you raw dogging those oats? Just like water, microwave, like eating it like
honestly,
slop?
but still wouldn't even be that bad. It's like you have
it
to
wouldn't smell
rotted.
The greatest. It wouldn't smell the greatest if it's just like some wet, hot oats. No, you gotta like spice that shit up.
This isn't even talking about this isn't stressing me out. I'm like, it's oatmeal.
But if someone came up to me and was like, hey, you smell like oatmeal, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
You hungry?
Yeah.
Like,
is that a bad thing? I don't even think Kay knew what it was, to be honest.
I think the reason why this girl was a pig-faced cunt was because she picked a food that is so bizarre.
Bizarre and like bland and not that appealing, I guess.
It's like she came up to you and was like, you know what you remind me of? The color beige. That's essentially... Mm-hmm. That's like the level of insult, because you're not saying, it's kind of like a numb, it's a gray area.
Well, it's like that thing. Remember, wasn't it in Juno? Yeah, the soup. It's like telling somebody like you smell like soup, and it's like
that is okay. I was trying to think of that. Yeah, it is like that.
Is it? It'd be worse if she was like, you smell like cheese. You'd be like, oh. But I don't know. You know what? Keep going with keep living your best oatmeal life. I'm not mad at it. I don't think it's that offensive, but I do understand how that is now fully embedded in your psyche and something you will take to the grave.
What kind of perfume are you wearing? It doesn't matter. But I do
Aveeno oat.
I just remembered something. So I do need to make a public apology to about 50 people from my high school, Myers Park High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am sorry for the bit that I thought was so funny, and it was only ever funny to me. I would go up to people and go, you kind of smell bad. And they 100% didn't.
Horrific.
And I just thought it was so fucking funny.
No.
And I literally just remembered it from that story. So, my bad to you.
You're literally the cunt, Kay. Because you're just making
I
people...
I am Miss Cunt.
Yeah, you're just giving people complexes.
But I was fucking bullied. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to fucking dish it back.
Yeah,
and I fucking did. And I did it to some innocent people too. I would do it to my high school boyfriend at the time. And one time he was like,
okay.
He goes, hey, like, you're kind of stressing me out. And I go, hey, I'm
you
still not going to stop.
You smell
and
kind
you
of bad.
smell, I'm trying to help. You smell kind of bad.
All right. Sorry
okay.
about Miss Oates.
Sorry about Miss Oates, but maybe Miss Cunt was also Miss Right. So
or maybe she was Miss Wrong.
Probably was Miss Right. Okay. Hello, honks. My insecurity has always been, shut the fuck up. My insecurity, not to you, but to Gabby. Okay. Hello, honks. My insecurity has always been my weight. When I was young, I was probably only 5 pounds overweight or so. But I have never had a flat stomach. So I always thought I was fat. When I met my ex, I went through bouts of depression and anxiety where I didn't eat much and wound up weighing the least I've ever weighed in my adult life, but I was miserable. Upon ending things around 27 years old, I get even more self-conscious. I had gained at least 10 pounds and was just slightly overweight for my height and age. I thought, now that I was alone, no one would want me. Ridiculous, I know, but it's just how I was conditioned to think. Over the next few years, I had plenty of hookups and time to understand that there will always be someone out there who likes how you look, regardless of what that is. So fucking true. Now that I'm 31, I care far less about my weight and how I look to others. However, I recently went to the doctor for a checkup and found that I gained about 20 pounds over the last 2 months and now weigh the most I've ever weighed in my life. I'm embarrassed by that, but also feel trapped like I can't stop. I love food. Absolutely love it. It's one of the great joys of my life. I love to cook, experiment with flavors. Have you tried oatmeal? And I have a killer sweet tooth. I crave something sweet after lunch and dinner. So it's very hard, especially as an adult with income, to tell myself no when I want ice cream or chocolate. With summer coming, I know I'll lose weight working and I'll be eating less junk and more healthy options, but my desired weight feels unachievable now, and I worry about how noticeable the extra weight is. I don't want to think about it, but sometimes it feels like an insecurity that'll never go away. Here's hoping. Anyways, love you guys the most. You're the highlight of my week.
Oh.
Wait, and also, I just want to say, I'm pretty sure this is the person that wrote this in was someone that commented on the YouTube, and I just want to say, I always read those. We all read those comments, and we really appreciate you. Okay, but as far as the weight thing goes, I know that is so fucking tricky, especially for fucking women.
Especially as women. It's
so much pressure.
Because we're reduced to it. We're reduced to our weight. You're too thin, you're too fat, you're blah, blah, blah. So many women struggle with this.
So many.
Men too. I know. Men too.
No, this is a universal thing. It's everybody struggles with this. I mean,
it is like, how do you validate yourself? I like,
you have to just look at yourself in the mirror, and instead of only okay, so I had a little trouble with food. I go on like in and out of dealing with it, but my therapist was telling me, she's like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to like list 10 things that you like about yourself, like physically like, and you have to do it every single day, and then you have to like train yourself out of viewing the flaws. With someone who struggles with either body dysmorphia or with like hating the way you look, like you zero in on the negativity. And also when people look at you, I don't give a fuck if you're like 8,000 pounds or if you're thin. Of course, people are going to notice if you're big or small, but like, no, everyone is so consumed with their own self. No one's like going to be thinking about you days after, unless they have a little crush on you, but like no one's going to be, I feel like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting lost in it because I'm over caffeinated.
No, I also think that like if you feel good, I mean, it sounds like you don't feel good about yourself. Obviously, that's why it's your insecurity. Mm-hmm. But it like I feel like as long as you feel healthy, your weight doesn't really matter. And that's just my own opinion. I don't know.
Also with okay. I totally agree.
But also
you have
like
to,
how do you
confidence? You can literally be ugliest. I mean, I've met some dudes, Gabby and I do comedy, right? So we fucking...
I mean, every dude, and they all look like fucking melted wax candles.
I met this guy, and at first glance, I literally thought he was a stick of provolone cheese. And upon talking to him, I learned that he was a human male, but he had the fucking confidence.
Yeah, they all do.
Of a fucking baller.
It's credible. We do this sometimes in the green rooms where I'll be sitting with like the guys and I'm like, what would you guys give yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 physically? What would you give yourself? And the men are always like 8. And I'm like, are you fucking delusional? And then you ask the women and they're like, 5. And you're like, you're beautiful.
No. And
you're beautiful. And these fucking turd fucking jackasses over here sucking in their own farts.
Yeah, no, like their skin is kind of gray and like one of their eyes is like falling down. Like, I can't.
7.5, 8. I'm like, no.
I think I'm pretty hot. It's like, just because you jerk yourself off every night doesn't mean you're fucking
just because your fucking mom told you that you were the best. Just because your mom sucked your dick.
You're tapping into something, because all men's moms want to fucking suck them. And so they grow up thinking like, I'm the fucking man. Like, just because your big titty mommy wants to suck you off doesn't mean we do.
And here's the thing. I'm going to raise an absolute fucking school shooter of a son if I have a son, because there's no way I'm going to fucking feed into his. I'm not going to be like, wow, handsome boy, love you. I'll be like, you fucking wish, little boy, that I would tell you, that you're a good looking man. But guess what? You're just a little boy.
You're just a little bitch baby cunt.
You're just a little fucking bitch boy.
I think it's interesting though that the moms that are realistic with their sons, where they're like, you ain't shit, those are the ones that end up like,
yeah,
like,
man.
Whoa.
I can't imagine raising a son. People, a lot of women are always like, I would rather have a son because it's so much easier. I'm like, I would rather have a fucking girl.
Well, here's the thing. When you're having a baby, you have to ask yourself, do I want to raise the rapey
or the rapist?
Yeah. Which one is it?
Yeah.
So I hope you guys all think about that.
Think about that. And
my mom used to tell me I smell bad and I was greasy. And
so
to get the
your mom was doing it right.
Your mom was doing it right. She humbled you real quick.
Ass, you smell like some fucking oatmeal, because we can smell it from over here. Gets given Mr. Quakers. But
so yeah, you raise them too confident, they become egotistical narcissists.
Yeah, and then if you go, hey, shower up, son, then you become like Lee, who's jerking off to fucking like cartoon dwarfs every night. So and I don't know what's going the fuck on.
There's no middle ground.
No, there's no middle ground.
There's
so
none.
We're all fucked. We're all doomed to hell. And honestly, here's the thing also that I wished more women understood, and I only learned it very recently. Men will fuck anything.
And they act like they won't, but they're also fucking.
That's just because they're trying to impress their guy friends. Like, they're like, oh, fuck, I can't fuck her if she's not a 10.
It's also
Meanwhile,
not a
they
compliment.
go home and they're fucking a fucking tube of butter.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
That's
you
what
guys
they're
go home
fucking
and
doing.
You fuck melons.
Literally, they go, oh, summer's here. Yeah, we know why. We know why you're excited for summer. It's not for the fucking pool. It's for the fucking watermelons. You're gonna go home, fucking drill a little hole into,
pussy.
and fuck it. You disgusting pig.
Yeah, the fucking tomatoes that you're gonna line up and do a little thing, squeeze extra hard, and then fuck. Men will do that.
Literally, I had an ex, and his favorite movie was Call Me by Your Name, or whatever the fuck that movie is, where he fucks the peach. And
yeah, hell yeah.
Let me tell you something. We all know what
it was. James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah, it was James and the Giant Peach. And here's the thing: I am so tired of men trying to fuck produce. Fuck me. And honestly, I'm just tired of it.
Amen. So here's the other thing I want to touch on. I don't want like to get confused with like giving advice on your insecurities. I don't want to like. I'm not trying to do that, because we're just getting them out there and talking about them. So I'm not trying to like give you advice on how to like live your life or anything. I just want to discuss.
No, we're just totally discussing. And like, I mean, I have insecurities I've dealt with as far as I can fucking remember. And there's still, I feel like that's just part of life.
It sure the fuck is.
And weight is something, it's so sensitive, and we all fucking struggle with it. Like,
yeah.
I recently have been working out so fucking much, and I still will like look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot for the life of me get my stomach to be perfectly flat. And like, again, but I have to like train myself out of it. I'm like, okay, great. So I don't have a perfectly flat stomach.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's a weird thing. And I'm somebody who's always been on the thinner side, and I've like never, I've like never been overweight, but I do struggle with like, if I start to feel like I'm getting a little bit bigger, I start to be like, no. And it's like, I know that's so like, not okay.
Did your mom ever make comments about food or anything to you growing up?
I honestly don't know.
My mom would. I was like doing I was very thin. My mom would always be like, oh, you don't need to eat those crackers. Oh, you're eating peanuts. Those have a lot of fat in them. And I'm like, okay.
No, yeah, my mom never really did that, but I still struggle with like weight. Not so much, but I do look at myself and I'm like, I'll suck in more, and I'm like, this is where I should be. I should have like a flatter, more toned stomach. And it's
also women,
It's insane. It's such a waste of
we
our energy.
have an extra layer of I guess pudge, you could say, like below, like in our abdomen. It's just in case you have kids. Like it's an extra layer of fat built in. So it's like we're not supposed to have, like if you have a perfectly flat stomach, okay, go the fuck off. But like,
well, then you're 12.
It's so fucking, it's normal for you to have that little.
Here's the thing that I've been trying to focus on more recently is that just like being, it's going to sound so corny, but like truly being grateful for my body and just being like, this is my body. It belongs to, I don't even, I a lot of the time now don't even think that like I belong to my body. Like, I'm like, oh, this
In
body
what way?
I'm like, my body just exists to like carry whatever is inside of me, like my soul, whatever it is, whatever
You're
energy.
just a meat vessel.
Yeah, this is just a vessel, and it's just really just be nice to it because it's just, this thing isn't, I don't feel like I belong to it. It just carries me throughout the day. So I've been trying to be grateful to be like, thank you for my little vessel of a body.
That's beautiful. I did a yoga class, and the guy was like, the teacher was just like, all right, everyone, be grateful that you have arms and legs and a body that moves because not everyone has that. And I was like, oh, you know what?
Yeah,
it's nice to like stop and think about it.
There's somebody in the back that has no legs and one arm.
There was a girl with no arms in that class, and I was like, you're erasing her experience. But
yeah. Oops. Okay, next one. Hey honks, fuck Joy. Fuck Joy and Cricket Gate. Also, Harper definitely stole the Doritos. Yeah,
fuck
she did.
you. No, I didn't. Gabby stole my shoes. My fans.
You wish. Okay. So let me say that I don't know if this is the correct way to handle insecurities, but this worked for me. I am someone who has struggled with major self-esteem issues my whole life. You and me, brother. I legitimately hated my body and no joke would lay in bed every night, grabbing my stomach rolls and fucking hating myself. Every time it came to summer and I knew I'd have to be in a bikini, I would have fucking panic attacks about being around other girls in a swimsuit. Then I dated a narcissist who fucking abused the shit out of me and constantly called me ugly and fat and literally just tore me apart. If I was insecure before him, I was a shell of a human by the end. So finally, towards the end of my relationship with him, I felt so ugly and self-defeating that I finally decided, fuck it. I'm getting my tits done. Honestly, it's sad because I didn't ever even really want bigger tits. Like my boobs were fine, but I decided to do it because he made me feel so worthless and I just wanted to feel sexy. So I did the surgery. 2 weeks post-op, him and I got into one of our usual nasty fights where he called me names and to the tits finally gave me the self-esteem boost I needed to tell him to fuck off. And that's on big titty energy, LMAO.
Yes.
Okay, so now you have these big old tits and you're like, you know what? Fuck you. I've got these big luscious tits. You can fuck off. Our last fight, he literally told me, you're 20 pounds overweight and too lazy to work out, you fat bitch.
Woo!
I can't believe these men exist. And
they're projecting. That's how they feel about themselves.
That man right there is a man who was coddled by his mommy.
He has big oatmeal energy.
Needless to say, after that breakup, something fucking broke inside me. I kept hearing him call me a fat, ugly bitch, and I decided I wasn't going to stop getting surgeries until I became the hottest girl in the fucking world. So I booked liposuction. Bitch, I got lipo like 3 months after my breakup. No man to help me, no family, toxic relationship, so I wasn't even speaking to them at that point. So I got fucking lipo 360, where they essentially suck out the fat, the entire fat around your midsection, front, back, and sides. It's the same surgery as a BBL, minus injecting the fat back into your butt. So they just like take it all out and they just throw away the fat. Mm-hmm. So I got fucking lipo on a random Tuesday, and I shit you not, took an Uber home by myself from the surgeon's office. Girl, that's wild. Thank God I had a couple of friends to help me recover, but other than the odd drop-in, I was fully by myself. Walking my dog by day 2 post-op, it was fucked. That's so intense. Jesus. And let me tell you, titties and lipo have changed my life. I am fully an advocate for plastic surgery. I know everyone preaches, love yourself, but girl, I tried. I was so insecure and I dated a narcissistic abuser and let him disrespect me for years, and my big, giant, perfect tits were the only thing that helped me finally say no. So since then, I've become absolutely addicted to surgery and have now booked my rhinoplasty in a few months. Also, I'm getting a lip lift and chin lipo in the fall. Insecurities can be solved by just accepting your flaws But in my opinion, if we have crooked teeth, we get braces, and that's fine. So why wouldn't I get surgery to fix my own insecurities? That you make a point. I am now a fucking dime piece. And let me tell you, dating this time around was a drastically different experience. Suddenly, I was everyone's type. When I was on the dating apps. Every dude I met liked me. Whereas before, I would constantly get ghosted. In a way, it's kind of sad because I'm the same old cool me who is funny and chill and a nice girl, but I kept getting looked past. And now that I have all this surgery and look hotter, guys like me way more. So that's all it took, huh? At the end of the day, all guys really cared about was how hot the girl is. Kind of sad. But at the same time, I got me a fucking angel of a man who literally worships the ground I walk on, has an 8-pack, and constantly gets stopped when we're out so random men can tell him he looks exactly like Bradley Cooper. Revenge glow up of the fucking century, honks. Most girls get a haircut after a breakup or go blonde. I got 5 surgeries, LMAO. Anyway, love you guys. That was really long. Keep it up and tell Joy I love her. I'm JK about the crickets.
Okay, that's a fucking badass, hot ass email. Jesus.
We have so much to unpack, I think. Okay, first of all, I love it. I'm a huge fucking plastic surgery advocate as well. I really like the comparison you made between getting braces and surgery because it is like
I am so tired too. Like I get these like random ass videos sometimes on TikTok of women being like, other women need to stop getting surgery, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. If they want to get surgery, do it.
Yeah,
and I really fucking love what she said about the braces. Like, okay, and she was trying to accept herself. It wasn't working, so then she got surgeries, and now she's a fucking hot ass badass bitch. Okay, great.
I mean, yeah, and it's like, it comes down to the kind of like culture that we live in. We are a very like youth obsessed.
Women are not allowed to age.
We're all on social media. We're always all comparing ourselves to everybody. You put a fucking filter on and you look 10 times better than you actually look. And you're like, oh, fuck. So I'm actually ugly. So we live in a world that really doesn't allow us to accept
every filter
natural.
That you do, like on TikTok or Instagram, you put a filter on and it immediately slims your nose. It lightens your eyes,
lifts your eyes, slims your nose, makes your lips bigger.
Yeah, your cheekbones are lifted.
Yeah.
But then there's so much propaganda of love yourself. We're literally trained not to.
And it's hard because like I love that like, I mean, I'm so much more confident now that I have like lip filler and I've like gotten some things taken care of. I love it. I wish my lips were better because the other girls botched it. But I mean, as far as size,
I think they look good.
I love, and I'm a big fan of all of it. It does fucking suck that it all comes down to like the patriarchy in a way. Because we essentially, and what you were saying in this email, and you addressed it, you acknowledged it yourself, is even that like, it all comes down to getting the validation of men. And it fucking sucks that's kind of what we're reduced to. And we don't have to be, but like that's the culture that we fucking live in.
Going off of that, when she's talking about the way that she was treated before and after surgeries, I think also it's a huge testament that, and it's also so disgusting and heartbreaking to me that like men, straight men, I'll say, will not like, I feel like it's harder for them to give unattractive women empathy and treat them with kindness and compassion unless they like find them sexually desirable. And I think it's dangerous. And I think a lot of like,
you think it's easier for men to give like less attractive women empathy?
No, I'm saying the opposite. Men are so much nicer to hot women.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe I fucked up, but that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that, but on the other end, then you have like these incels that like get really fucking angry because then like pretty girls remind them of the women that rejected them.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of anger.
There's a whole lot of
whenever
anger.
you talk about ye old men, but, I wonder, that must have been difficult dating. I wonder if she had any resentment when she started dating, as she said, a dime piece. When she's still the same person and like the same guys that were like rejecting her and like just being like, oh, whatever, are now like, oh, ooh, hey.
Which is that's so interesting because she said like I'm still the same old fucking me,
of course,
just in a much hotter body. And what a wild thing to experience, like to go from one extreme version of yourself to another, and to see how the world perceives you and how they treat you differently. Do you remember that episode? There was like an episode of some fucking show a couple years ago where these like models put on fat suits.
Yeah.
And it's so
I don't remember the show, but yeah.
It's so problematic now. But I remember that these models were like crying and they're like, we were treated so terribly. Nobody even looked at us. Da, 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 da. And it's like, well, you know, that's also the fucking world that we live in.
Girl, send us a picture of you. I want to see your hot ass. I want to see your fucking hot ass.
Girl, send us a before and after. I'm fucking dying to know.
We're no better than a man.
Also,
she's also a patron.
Oh my God,
okay,
this girl.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. You have to write into us.
I'll also just real quick again say that like, and you guys, everybody knows this, but how harmful it is to see these girls like Kylie Jenner and these girls that are like in the media that are getting all of this body modification, but aren't owning up to it and are all like, you know, like with the healthy diet and like,
with the diet pills that give you fucking diarrhea out your fucking nose.
It was just, and they're just like always, you know, promoting these like healthy lifestyle things, which is great, but like their bodies aren't from that. And so then all of us are like taking that in being like, oh fuck, well I need to look like that. I need to look like that. I need to look like that. But like these girls are paying fucking $20,000 to $40,000 for their bodies.
Okay. Oh my God. So, so one of the class pass things that I did was just like this, it's called Bunda. And it's just like a butt workout place. And so like I did it and like I noticed I was like one of the only girls in the class that had a flat ass, and I have hip dips, which I'm so insecure about. Which just means that like my ass is concave on the sides, and but I'm looking around the class and I'm just seeing bubble butt, bubble butt, bubble butt, and I'm just like so insecure. And like this studio is really expensive if you're not doing a class pass like guest visit thing. But I'm already thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure out how I can afford this because I need to have an ass like this and da-da-da. It's not enough that I have tits. I need to have the ass. So then maybe someone will love me. But then I ended up talking to a girl who was right next to me. Like I've never seen an ass like that in my life. And I'm like, oh my God. She had like little Cassie arms. She had her big old titties, big old teeny. And I was just like, and so I was like, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be a creep, but like, how long have you been coming here? And then she was like, oh, only for like a couple months. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like what workouts do you, cause I'm trying to be like, how'd you get that ass? How'd you get that fucking juicer? And then she was like, oh girl, I got a BBL.
Oh good. She dropped the secret. Really?
Oh. And then she was like, honey, she's like, no, she's like, I'm just doing this so my thighs match my ass. And then she's like, oh no. She's like, yeah, no. She's like, I got a flat ass. I tried everything. And I'm like, fuck.
She said I had got a BBL.
And she got
Thank
a fucking
you.
BBL. And then another girl in the class she was like,
which honestly I love. I think that BBLs can look really, when they're well done, they can look so fucking good. So go off.
If y'all are gonna get a BBL, don't get these fucking $2,000 BBLs. You gotta get the 25 grand.
Fucking ass.
Yeah,
dude.
because your ass is gonna be looking like a weird ass lollipop if you don't.
I would love to get. I mean, I would love to be able to get a BBL. But
see, if I wasn't so, this is also the reason why I have 0 tattoos. I just don't like pain and I don't like needles. Like I can't even like pierce my ears anymore. I'm like, I don't know. A switch happened.
Surgery scares me. But like going under surgery really scares me.
Surgery really fucking the last surgery that I had was on I have metal bars in both of my feet.
She has a fake foot.
I have 2 fake feet. Don't tell anyone. And another insecurity.
She has little robot feet.
My feet are legally considered robots, so watch out. But I have metal bars and I actually felt this, like they didn't give me enough anesthesia for my left foot. And I felt them like start to cut in and I was like, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be awake. And then gave me more. And then I got a little sick from a little too much anesthesia.
Okay, go.
How about you go to hell? Okay. Here's the thing.
Fucking iRobot over here. Keep going.
You fucking wish. Okay. Have you ever had surgery?
Tonsillectomy, baby.
Honey. I wish you got to keep them.
No tonsils in this throat.
I could go the rest of my life with you never doing that again. Okay. All right, honks. I want to start off by saying hello. I appreciate you. This is my 3rd time. Shut the fuck up. I appreciate you. This is my 3rd time writing in, and I feel the universe was speaking to me when I saw your Instagram post with this week's prompt. So I'm going to vent this insecurity of mine.
Love it.
I can't help but start this off by sounding extremely insecure. Ha. When I first started following you and listening to Tea Time, I really wanted to pick your brain about stand-up comedy because it's always intrigued me. To clarify, it doesn't come out of nowhere. I was in after-school comedy, sports, and theater all throughout junior high school and studied the theater program at my local community college and loved doing improv. It was something I was always really passionate about and loved performing and making weird short films with my friends as a youngster. I was also part of the shadow cast for, what the fuck is that? A shadow cast for a Rocky Horror briefly, and I just love entertaining people, but my stage fright is incredibly powerful. And when I'm doing monologues or anything solo, it's the scariest thing ever. My entire life, I've been funny. I've been the funny fat friend, the one with the quick wit and the one that makes the bold statements that no one else is confident enough to make. But my confidence quickly dwindles when I know I have an audience. It's almost like I can be totally funny, but I don't know how to muster up the courage to perform live. So I guess you could say my insecurity is fear of judgment. Going back to my first point, the fear of judgment and rejection is honestly the reason I was so worried about asking you how to break into the world of stand-up. In general, asking for advice or help is hard because I get so worried that people will think I'm trying to copy them or jump on the bandwagon or something, but that mindset has limited me so much. For example, I waited till I was 30 to start my own art group because I had been a part of one that was based in LA for so many years, since I was 21. And I was worried that they would think I was stealing their idea. And once I actually did it, it was the best thing and I had so much support. I've never had an opportunity to be a gatekeeper or keep something to myself, but maybe I'm projecting my own feelings of worry onto other people, assuming they will respond negatively, assuming they will respond negatively instead if never having that experience. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Hey, girl. This will definitely be brought up in my group therapy, and I just recently started going to a meeting, so I might even touch on it there. Haha, I just love venting my problems to the world. Moreover, I really love venting it to you guys because your podcast is so entertaining, and it makes it less of a burden when I hear someone else describing my problems in a more entertaining fashion. So I guess this is an open-ended email asking for advice, not just for me, but anyone that's listening and possibly wants to know how to start a podcast or get into stand-up or improv and just be badass bitches like yourselves. I know you guys will speak truthfully and not candy coat things, which I truly admire. Love y'all. Blessed be. Okay, it was giving Handmaiden's Tale at the very end.
Blessed be.
And it's blessed be the fruit. So if you're going to be a God-loving woman, do it right. But I mean, okay, so it sounds like you're creative and you want to do it, but you're afraid of judgment and and that makes you insecure. That insecurity doesn't go away, at least for me. The more time I spend thinking about something, the less time I'm like actually doing it. And then I start building it up in my head. For instance, so this is my first time ever throwing a show just like that. I'm not running with anyone. I'm just doing it. And I was so insecure. And I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't even matter who I book on the lineup. Like no one's going to want to do it. I'm not going to be able to sell it out. I'm not, no one's going to want to come and see me. And then I like kept telling myself that over and over and over. And then I'm not doing it. And then finally I'm like, why don't I at least try? Like, let's, just fucking do it. And then I did. And it's, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but I think it's going to be great. And
I mean, the show sold out. So.
Yeah, the show did sell out, honey. And that's on Big Titty Energy. But I think you just have to if you really want something, you just have to go for it.
Here's the other thing. It's interesting listening to that because we all struggle, I think. It's a very familiar insecurity to even be insecure about even like talking to people.
Yeah.
And to be like always second guessing yourself and being like, no, everybody's going to think I'm fucking stupid. Like I live in a constant state of like fear of rejection, right? Where I'm like, oh, I don't want to say anything because I'm probably going to sound stupid and everybody's going to judge me. And it really is limiting living in that headspace. And I live in it. So it's like,
oh, completely.
It's hard to get out of that. I understand. And it can cause a lot of like intellectual pain.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to feeling like, oh, I'm not worthy enough to like be able to hold my own in a conversation or in a room, or I'm probably not able to do this because I would suck. And we like kick our own asses before we even, let ourselves do anything.
We are so mean to ourselves. Like the way that we talk, like I feel like when you are that insecure, and I'm not coming for you because I fucking deal with that shit too, but it's like we're almost like not giving ourselves the permission to simply exist. Humans are flawed. We are fucking we're messy. No one's fucking I don't give a fuck if you're fucking Kylie Jenner, Hailey Bieber, whatever the fuck. Like no one's fucking perfect. No one, like I don't care how thin you are or how big your fucking ass and titties are. Like everyone is fucking insecure.
Everyone is insecure, and also again like I've been trying to look at my body as more of just like a vessel. So maybe if you can drop into that a little bit more to be like, this is all I have right now. And nothing really does matter except for making my life the best it can be. Then you really have nothing to fear, nothing to lose. Your whole, your hesitation with getting into stand-up was funny. I also I got into theater and like public speaking because I have such bad social anxiety and I wanted to do something that would completely take me out of my comfort zone. I didn't grow up feeling like I was, I was never the kid that was like, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. I didn't think about being a stand-up comedian until I literally did stand-up for the first time. And I was like, yeah, I could do this. I still don't even really know that much about stand-up. Because, you'll talk to other comics who are always talking about like George Carlin and Sam Kinison and everybody. And I'm like, I am so bad at the history of comedy. Anyway, I digress.
Be like Shia LaBeouf. Just do it, babe. Just do it.
It doesn't, you're going to suck probably.
And
it doesn't even matter.
That's the thing. You are going to fucking suck. You might get lucky. My first set I ever did, I was, well, actually, you know what? Okay, I think I might have said this story before. I'm not going to tell the whole thing, but my first time I ever did stand-up, I was 19 years old. I knew I wanted to do stand-up when I was in high school. I was also the shy friend. I was so funny with my little core group, but I was so shy and timid around anyone else, and I was afraid to like show my goofy side, whatever. I knew I wanted to do stand-up, though. I moved to LA. I dropped out of college. Move up here when I'm 19. I do my first open mic. I get one joke out. Someone like yells something at me from the audience. I run off the stage. I was actually at the Comedy Store. I'm like crying, whatever. I don't get back up on stage until I was 22. My first actual set went great. I still have the tape. It's actually kind of funny. And then every set after that for about a year, just fucking bomb. And
Yeah.
I ran off the stage so many times because I have such intense fear of stage fright. And I used to also have a really bad, or maybe people have it, worse, but like I had a stutter that I felt was bad, especially when I got nervous. And I would always run off the stage. And then one night I did it at the Comedy Store, and the booker of the show walks back out to me and she goes, do not ever do that again. She's like, you either commit to doing stand-up and you decide that this is what you want to do and you stay on the stage. She was like, or you stop doing stand-up because you cannot do that. And she's like, and I'm also going to make you get up back on stage and you have to finish your joke. And she made me get back on stage, and it was so humiliating.
That's wild. Yeah.
And she made me get back on stage, and I finished my set. And yeah, it wasn't good, but like the audience was like so like sweet because I was clearly like, scared. But then ever since then, I never ran off stage again.
Well, and the other thing is like you realize that you're kind of untouchable in a way. It's like if you decide that you want to do something,
Unless you're Chris Rock, yeah.
Unless you're Chris Rock, topical.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if you just want to do something that you want to fucking do, like who gives a fuck? We're so afraid of God. I listened to this really good. It was like an episode on an NPR or some shit, TED Talk or something. But it was about this guy who was like, I want to go out and do things and get rejected and like to help me get over my fear of rejection. So like every day for like 100 days in a row, he would go up to people and be like, hey, can I have $1? And they'd be like, sure. Or sometimes they'd be like, no. And he'd be like, okay. And, he kept doing things where people would give him the option to say no, because when it comes down to it, it's just like, no, isn't that, it's just, that's all it's going to be is like, no. No, you can't.
We're so fucking terrified of the word no. And guess what? Life goes on. The sun is still going to come out. It's going to be okay.
It gets buried after a little while.
I want to say this. So when I first started stand-up, I had some people in my life, like someone I was dating and blah, blah, blah. Like at first they seemed like kind of supportive of it, but like I even had a few friends and like the people I was dating that like weren't actually on board with it. And honey, don't ever like not do something because you're afraid of like, oh, like what are people going to think? Unless it's like, you want to do something like, I don't know, like what Lee does, like watch hentai like around an elementary school. Don't do that, please. But I think just if someone's not supportive of your dream, then they don't need to be in your life anyway. Mm-hmm. I mean, not like saying like hardcore cut them out, but if someone's gonna like degrade you for,
you just don't have time. You just don't. Yeah, you can't waste your.
Also, it sounds like you're 30. Like, honey, you're hot and cute. Just
fucking
keep it moving.
Also, I will say it makes me think like one of my biggest insecurity is being called dumb. Like if anybody, but dumb and annoying. To be told that you're annoying is like that's such an insecurity of mine. Is like thinking that I'm annoying and then having people like confirm that.
I can see that. For me, I kind of just know I'm annoying. I'm really fucking loud, especially if you date me. I fucking demand a lot. Like there are a lot of benefits too, but fuck off. But for annoying for me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I am kind of annoying, but there's other positive qualities that I possess. So being a little annoying is okay.
Okay, that's healthy self-talk.
Yeah, I think, and also everyone's fucking annoying. I don't give a fuck if you're the most calm person ever. I find if you're always calm and you don't have a little pizzazz, hey, I find that kind of annoying. I'm sure people find me annoying. I'm loud. I have a big fucking loud laugh. It's hard. I think I use humor as a way to keep people at bay.
Oh, honk.
And so that can be really fucking annoying when people are trying to get to know me and I'm just like, would you rather fuck your mom or a snail? And it's like, okay.
I'm the opposite. I feel like I'm so boring, like in real life, because I just try to like.
You're not fucking boring.
No, bitch, because I feel like I'm not funny, like one-on-one. Like people that like are fans, like my fans, will meet me and they're like, I feel like people have an idea of who they think that I am, but in real life, I am just more like this, where I'm just like kind of into just talking about boring real things.
Well, yeah, you're not always on, but also you don't want to fucking be around the person that's, we've met people that are always like, a scootily beep, 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 beep. And now that's fucking
but then
annoying.
You also meet people too that are just like also so fucking funny. And I'm like, I don't feel like a funny person like in regular life.
That's so interesting. Also, that's another weird thing because I think that you're so fucking funny.
I don't feel that way at all. I always feel
like when you're talking to strangers specifically, or
or even
you're also very shy, honey.
I am very shy, and I also feel very drab. Another thing, do you have any insecurities with like sex or body stuff?
Oh my God, yes.
Go on.
Okay. I actually didn't even know if I wanted to say this publicly, but you know what? Talking with my honk, everything's going to come out. I think it's from all of the sexual trauma that I've amassed, but it is so hard for me to have sex with someone new, sober, or even at all. I hate having sex with new people because I feel
that makes sense. That's relatable.
I feel like I don't know. Oh my God. Yeah. Now I feel myself shutting down even right now. I feel so insecure because I hate people like seeing my naked body. I don't like it. I
really.
And see, I'm like a hug. I'll give people hugs or whatever. But when it comes to like,
I hate hugging.
Yes. My hunky hates hugs, but
I hate hugging.
But when it comes to sex, I hate being touched. I hate like, I don't know, but because of my sexual trauma, then I get like hypersexualized in a relationship. Okay, beautiful, a moth. We love to see it.
Can we?
Don't kill it.
Hold on, I have to wait. Hold that thought, because I also have to pee so badly.
And see, my insecurity right now is like I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm not being funny. I'm not being interesting. Everyone that listens is probably so over me because I'm always like the sad fucking drab like head case, and oh great, she's talking again. That's how I feel.
Not us both saying drab. Did you just say drab because I said drab?
Oh, did you say drab?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then that's because I don't think I've ever actually said the word drab in my life.
That's
and
really
I was
funny.
like, why is that word rolling around my fucking noggin? And it's from my fucking honk.
Also, wait, I want to go back to the girl who was talking about stand-up really quickly. Take fucking beta blockers because that shit helps you. Beta blockers are just, they help you
like
calm your nerves. Yeah, but it's more like beta blockers are for people that have stage fright.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, beta blockers.
Yeah.
And just go to an open mic. It's all other comics. It's all just like you don't perform for actual people.
Which is honestly more anxiety inducing. So don't listen to Lee.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Open mics are fucking horrific.
It's just a bunch of other fucking weirdos trying to get
if you go to like
on
the
stage.
cool mics, then yeah, that's intimidating.
I don't think this person is in LA. It's a much different. When you're doing stand up not in LA or New York, it's a much different thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not this.
It's not as
like,
mean and intense.
Business. Yeah, it's not this like show business thing. People are like there because they want to be there, and it's fun and it's supportive, and it's like the smaller town and smaller city open mics are a much more chill place to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, LA is a fucking nightmare.
Honestly,
Wait, what were you saying?
Oh, about like the sex thing.
Oh yeah, insecurities with sex.
Yeah. I feel like I need to go to like because I'm in therapy. I'm in 12-step, great, but like I don't know. Maybe it's and I'm trying. I actually so the girl that was talking about like I tried to get over it and so I couldn't, so I just got surgery. I honestly feel like I've been trying to get over this for years and years and I still can't and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, do I need to go see like a sex therapist?
Wait, get over what?
My weirdness with sex. Like it's so hard for me to like that's also like I will get so fucking drunk, not like blackout, but like I have to have like 3, and for me 3 drinks is like I'm wasted. But like if I'm gonna have sex with someone new, I feel like I need to be fucked up for it. And then I also I don't like doing that now. And like, you know, I'm really trying to like I'm trying not to use like my old coping mechanisms. But so then so then I don't want to go out and get fucked up and fuck people. Not like I was doing that before, but like I don't know. I just really struggle with like, I guess it also stems from like being afraid to be open with people, because sex is so vulnerable. Even if it's just like a hookup thing,
sex is vulnerable.
It's so vulnerable, and it's so hard for me to like do that with someone I don't know. So then that also, I kind of like keep myself in a loop of people from the past, because even if they're bad for me, and a lot of them are, I will, at least it's someone that I know.
Right. Because you're like, oh, this is familiar.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I do. I have a lot of insecurities. Well, again, still my tits. I hate that. I always get insecure about my tits during sex, no matter what. And also, dude, a big one that like has never really left my mind was my ex a couple years ago. I kept getting fucking BV, bacterial vaginosis, and it makes your pussy fucking stank, right? So like right,
ladies, no, but
that shit sucks. And I remember just my ex telling me, being like, "Oh my God, like I cannot like go down on you. I can't," because like
also he was fucking cheating on you. And that's why you got fucking BV.
Yeah, it's true.
It makes me so angry.
And then it like fucks you up. It gives you like yeast infections, And I just like, after that, I had such a fucking complex. And like ever since then, I've just always been like, does my pussy smell? And I haven't been able to enjoy sex because I'm just always like in my head, like, oh, this probably is so grossed out. And I'm like, it just probably smells so bad. And and it just like, that was one of those things that just seeped into my fucking head.
Honk. That is... So you have to be, I know we like always fuck off around on this podcast, but like for real, if you're in bed with someone, I don't give a fuck who you are, be delicate with them, because it is so fucking delicate. And you don't know what the fuck anyone, like male, female, like you don't know what people have gone through, and you need to like be cognizant, you know.
And luckily I have a boyfriend who's very like non-judgmental of
king.
Yeah, he's like so non-judgmental of my body, and even if I took a shit and wiped it into my pussy, he would he'd still eat me out, you know? So it's fine. Would it be weird if he ate me out with shit in my pussy? Yeah, but he'd still do it and he wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a real fucking man.
All right. How much time do we have?
I mean, we could wrap it up.
All right, cool.
If you want to close with one more.
Okay.
We have, oh God, there are some really good ones left. There are some really good ones left. Fuck me. Here's one that's easy. You guys, I'm so sorry if we don't get to your fucking, because there's a few left that are so good.
Maybe we should do a part 2 of this.
We could sprinkle some in. Yeah, because we could sprinkle some in. There's some really good ones, and I don't like when we leave out stories, especially when they're like this juicy and vulnerable. But that's just how it goes sometimes, because we get a lot of them and we can't possibly always make it through. But anyway, here's a good little quick one. I have a fat cold sore right now, and I always feel bad for the person I'm dating when this happens. When I was a teen, I took Valtrex for it, and it stopped because I thought it was giving me suicidal thoughts, but that's just the cold sore, LOL. I want to kill myself every time. Also, a question for Gabby, as someone who books a lot of shows, what do you do when you get a cold sore? The cold sore thing, I wanted to talk about that really fast because I think a lot of people do have struggle with fucking cold sores and herpes. I don't have vaginal herpes or I don't have genital herpes, but I know a lot of people also do. And for me, I'm really upfront about my cold sores because it's like one of those things where I'm like, well, if I take ownership of it, nobody can make me feel bad about it. And it fucking sucks. It sucks to walk around with some big meaty fucking oozing thing on your face. But, you know, it is what it is. And it is really, I'm not going to lie, very embarrassing when I have shows and I have a fucking cold sore. And a lot of the time I'm like able to cover it up enough. But then there's still the thing in my head of like, oh, but I'm still using a mic that other comedians are going to use. And that feels I'm like spitting my fucking herpes spit into a mic.
That's why I talk extra loud too whenever I have a mic. So like I used to hold the mic right here. I used to be like, hello, but now I keep it like down here and I'll just project.
Yeah, it's I mean, man, fuck. You took Valtrex for it.
That's what you take, right?
I take what is it called? Valcyclovir whenever I feel them coming on. But this shit sucks. It's like, but it's also so hard. Everybody has, a lot of people struggle with them. So you said, yeah, I have fat culture right now and I always feel bad for the person I'm dating. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to fucking deal with it. It's part of who you are.
You know, they have anal warts or whatever the fuck, so it's fine.
Everybody has fucking herpes. But people are fucking mean to you though when you have, because I've talked about it on social media, even just being like, I get cold sores, blah, 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 and people being like, ew, you disgusting, dirty bitch, you got herpes, la, la, la. And it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Fuck
Before
you.
she comes over and kisses you on the mouth, big boy.
Yeah, fucking watch out or I'll come fucking... Yeah, man. It's whatever though. It sucks, but it's part of it. You just gotta deal with it and keep it moving.
Here's the thing too. I don't understand. Like, let's all just, as I'm like being like, I'm afraid of people seeing my body, but like we all need to just kind of like, humans are all fucking nasty little piglets, and we all have I don't give a fuck how hot or how ugly you are. You have something kind of nasty about your body. Okay, we're farting, we're shitting, we're pissing.
We're farting, shitting, pissing. Okay. We're blowing boogers.
Comes weird. Like everything is fucking. We have fucking acne. Also, you know, I'm fucking pushing 30, and I cannot get my fucking cystic acne to go away, and I have a pimple in between my titties right now.
I have really bad back knee, which is also one of my biggest insecurities because I can never feel confident.
Use my Panoxyl.
Really?
I have 0 now because I've been using Panoxyl.
My back is a fucking war zone. It looks like a pimply crater. I get so jealous of girls that wear like pretty little strapless dresses, and I'm like, to have a nice back. Mine's all fucking scarred from like me pick at it. It's
well, I look like I have a fucking I look like I have fucking udders right now with this fucking pimple.
It's not that bad. I saw it.
It is that bad. It's like big. I guess my honk is downplaying my pain.
Well, guys,
I think this was a cute episode. Was it our funniest? I don't know. But here's the thing. I think it was a cute one.
Sorry if we didn't get to your fucking stuff. We love it when you send them. And hopefully we will get to them.
Thank you for everyone who writes in. We love this podcast so fucking much, and it really does mean a lot when y'all participate. And yeah, thank you guys so much for writing in. And I love that we can all be vulnerable together. And I like that we're all messy and we're all just doing our best.
And I do love that. And also on our Patreon, which is coming up next, we have a couple of Truth or Dares submitted from people. And if you want to listen or submit Truth or Dares, please subscribe to our Patreon. We've got a good one in here for Lee, which will be coming up on the Patreon.
Yes. It's $5. It's $5 a month. And yeah, you guys can we're a little bit more personalized on there. So you guys just write in. And we're actually going to be introducing some new things soon. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. And
listen to our Patreon and listen to more fucked up shit. And I can't wait to do this Truth or Dare with Lee because it's
also LOL.
Because what the fuck? This is a fucking.
All right, let's close this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you guys.
I don't know how you're going to answer this.
Subscribe where you listen and follow us on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening.
And shout out to the 3 girls that I was DMing with this past weekend because you guys were really fucking funny. They listened to our podcast.
And guess what? Insecurities, we've all got them.
Gabby,
don't let
you're
them,
looking in the wrong camera.
Guess what? Insecurities, we've all got them. Don't let them fucking take you over.
Or do it because maybe you're right, and maybe you need to feed into the dark
You're
thoughts.
not right, and
you
guess
are right, and everyone is a dirty pig, and
your body is only here for a certain amount of time. Live your best life.
That mole is weird. Get it checked out.
This will die. Live your best life.
Except for me, I am kind of everlasting. So
she's not. She has a fucking third tit in between her tits.
Peace be with
right
y'all.
now.
I have 3 tits. You bitches could never. See ya.